doctored DOR forms to be admitted, that is just a shame for the electoral process. So
tentatively, before end of business today, we should be in position to either send you something. Alternatively, much as we are still waiting for this information to arrive in one collection center, then we shall start off taking the photos and feed them into the U-Vote app. It's only that we are on the run, but have we been stationed in a permanent place, we could have expedited this process. It's taking a bit longer because actually most of the people are playing. And our target is to try as much as possible not to get caught, one, not to have the process impeded in terms of getting this information, then also for the polling, the supervisors to avail us with the content before it's being looked at. So that is the strategy for now, that everyone should keep safe,
exactly.
not to have the information altered. So that is the idea for now. So that's why it has taken us a bit of time, but by now we should have started feeding into the U-Vote app.
Yeah, I think that is a very good idea, just to stay low. I think time is on your side. The government, they know they can't turn off the internet for forever, right? So
that was the internet, because had the internet been available, then from the get-go, definitely the entire world would have known what's happening in the north. And I think the target has been the north, because we haven't registered many of the incidents in other regions, but the north, really the intimidation has become something else. Because to the extent that some of our candidates were being voted up to the election day, they were still incarcerated. That happened to one of our candidates in Yumbe. Then also her dad just came out actually last evening, when it was almost close to the end of business.
Right.
That is how bad it has been, that some of our candidates have even gone throughout the electoral process without being physically available.
Mm-hmm. Right. So can you also say something about the various constituencies and MP races? Are these MP elections in more peace than the presidential elections?
Now what happened more at the parliamentary level, for it has also been, now given the fact that it is the same regime, because they are flaunting majorly their candidates, their NRM candidates. So once they identify that at the polling, in a constituency, they have representation, then they're also going to make it point that one, they fail the president, then also fail that parliamentary candidate. So
yes.
It is either way.
Yes.
Failing both the president, then also the parliamentary candidate, by doctoring this result.
Yes. And can you already say how many NUP MPs there will be from the north?
I beg your pardon?
How many NUP candidates have been able to win their race for an MP seat in the north?
Tentatively, from the information that we currently have, we don't have a winner yet, much as results are coming in. But we haven't yet established the concrete information in that front.
Okay.
By then, we weren't having any candidate winning.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was running my surveys for the presidential elections, it showed to me that the north was really split up. But that was in November. So with all the violence, I can imagine that even more people have moved to NUP. So are you confident that you're going to get a majority of the votes in the north?
I beg your pardon on that. You're asking if we were sure of getting the majority of the votes.
Yes.
Yes, I was confident about, and I'm confident that we've done well in the north.
Okay.
Because I'm not shaken with whatever is being publicized on media. Because one, we are not the level of intimidation. If it were a fair process and our polling agents are not abducted, then that means we would have had the right and actual results, which victory. But if they're already deploying military at every polling station and they are getting all the polling agents, they are not allowing them to relay this information through the DRF form to the supervisors, then honestly, how can we put out our victory there? So for me, I'm totally confident because in terms of structures that we did, we had good structures, and clearly you will see the support. That was, just as I've been emphasizing, that was evident in the previous campaign.
Right. So, for example, I can tell you that in Gulu, the support for Chigalanji is really big. I see 70% of the votes are for Chigalanji.
I beg your pardon?
So I see that in Gulu, 70% of the votes are for Chigalanji.
That last one that I can't speak.
And only 9% for the incumbent.
We have 97% for the incumbent.
No, we just have 9%. 9%
of the incumbent.
Yes.
9%, then the others.
And 70% for
Bobiwine. Say Bobiwine.
For Bobiwine.
Yes.
And then there are a small number of votes for Muntu, for Amuriat, and for Mao. So that is really looking good.
Yeah, but ideally,
Wow.
I'm not in agreement with whatever is being put out in the public domain. One, the media house that is being used, that is NBS. NBS, I don't know if others are being used because at least certain of UBC, NBS have at least taken chance to check it out, but which is already biased from the get-go because of the intel that we have. And it is being done so hurriedly that even what is being computed at the district electoral commission doesn't tally. It doesn't tally with that of the national level. And again, what is being tallied at the district electoral commission doesn't tally with the content on the BR form from the polling stations. So there's a lot of there are lots of discrepancies in this entire process. That even by the time they get to the national tallying center, results are totally different. So I'm not in agreement at all with whatever is being put out in the public domain.
And the good thing is, Spartan, because every 5 years we're not in agreement with what the Electoral Commission is going to announce. But this year we're going to have the proof, because those copies of the DOR forms. Yes.
Probably what has been transpiring in the previous elections, opposition hasn't been safeguarding or taking custody, safe custody of these DRR forms. But this time around, that is our emphasis to ensure that we have these actual DRR forms. And that's how we would want to prove the entire anomaly from the get-go, right from the polling station to the to electoral commission of the district to that of the national tallying center. There are lots of discrepancies in this process, and that is what we would want to prove.
Exactly, that's very well. And even if they manage violently to get a hold of those DORs, then we will still have the pictures available. Because what they don't understand, Museveni's generation, that in this year, in this century, there's nothing you can destroy. It will be there on the internet forever. The evidence that we have of the Chigalanji winning these results is already here. They are already too late. So please continue with your fantastic work. Very much respect that people like you, that you are saving the elections for the Ugandan people. And there's a question here from someone, if you have any advice on what we should do.
Any advice?
Yeah, so for example, we hear Ugandans and an incidental Dutch guy from the diaspora. What can we do to help?
Actually, I think the issue of internet, because communication is key, and if we are going through an election, actually, I'm not even. This is not worth being called an election from the get-go. Museveni has been preparing for war, and for us, on the other end, we've been preparing for an election, thinking that it will be a fair one. And he has basically been strategizing on how best he can win by rigging at all costs. That is why the level of intimidation has been too much, because was there a need of him deploying military all through if it was meant to be a fair election? So mine is it is our kind plea and our cry that probably the international community intervenes in the matter. We can't communicate to anyone. Right now, I'm on the run with the vice president, and in case anything is to happen, probably people in the diaspora will get to know about it after a week when internet has been put back. So they are impeding on our rights of communication by them totally breaking down this internet. So if the international community can intervene on that front, ensuring that internet is put back, probably pressurizing the focal part of the diaspora could also play that role, that this is something that they could want and push to ensure that one, we have internet back, and also probably demand for justice of people who have been taken in, because right now we've just tried to identify about 10 people who have been detained, but even their whereabouts we don't know. And we are still establishing more numbers, but I'm told the numbers shoot up to about 50 or so. People have been abducted. We are trying to reach out to people, but their phones are totally off. So we can't make out their whereabouts.
Yes.
So in terms of putting back internet, that is key. In terms of justice of incarcerated comrades, that is also key. And yeah, basically, that's what I'm looking at.
And maybe it's good to mention at this stage that actually the company that is shutting down the internet, Airtel, is located here in the Netherlands. So it is really, it's really a shame that a Dutch company is making it possible for the rigging of the Ugandan elections to take place.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, yesterday we had an encounter because you couldn't even transact using mobile money. Actually, most of the telecom companies were encumbering that exercise, the service, sorry. They were encumbering that service that you couldn't transact. So even for us in the field, it became quite complicated to reach out to our different comrades that were distant. So that is how unfair the system has been, that they are trying to use almost every sector, bit telecom, bit media. That is how bad it has been.
Yes, so hopefully the West now understands that the emperor really has no clove on, right? And with the emperor, I mean the dictator.
Yeah, the dictator.
And the clove mean here the democratic process. There is no democratic process. This is just one farce. It is intimidation, and even under these intimidation circumstances, Chigolanyi still has about 75% of the votes. I mean, that's just amazing that with all the threats that people get, that they still go to the polling stations and cast their votes. That just shows how motivated they are to remove the dictator. Yes. So Spartan and Dr. Lina, we thank you so very much for your work, and please stay safe. Time is on your side. and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Yeah, sure. It's been a pleasure to touch base with you. So we shall keep you in the loop of any developments that we get in the north. But we are trying to work around the clock so that before close of business today, we have most of the data and we shall start inputting it in the app. And in the case of any other developments, still we shall keep you updated.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, then, thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye, Dr. Lina.
You are watching the vote monitoring program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. You Vote Counting Stream, streaming for you live.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. And as we can see, Bobiwine just posted saying we are under siege, doctors in UPDF uniform and others in plain clothes, but carrying guns have jumped over our fence and taken control of my home. None of them is speaking to us. This is another tactic that they used in Kalangala, where they go in and they just kind of like arrest everyone or do whatever it is that they need to do, but they do not speak. And the reason why they actually do not speak is a way for them to protect themselves. So already they're wearing masks, so you can hardly see who they are. And before, they thought that if they wear masks, we would not be able to know who they are, but just people could hear them and they would end up identifying them and exposing them. And so they came up with this tactic where they just don't speak at all, you know. But I'm just wondering, what are they doing at his home? I know he gave a press conference early on today, and I believe whatever it is that they're doing is obviously something to do with the YouVote app, what we're doing here in the diaspora, and then of course his press conference that he gave today. But just ultimately, he's a big threat. They are realizing that he has indeed won the 2021 election, and that just really scares them. This is the same thing that they did to Kizza Besigye in 2016, isn't that so?
Yes, exactly. You know, they're desperate.
Yes.
They know they can lose everything. They know they could go to the ICC for the international crimes they have committed. Yes. They know they could lose considerable parts of the money that they've stolen from the Ugandans.
Yes.
They know they can lose the properties that they've stolen from the Ugandans.
And it's almost inevitable. It's almost inevitable. Someone has to pay for all the mess that they have created in Uganda for the last 35 years. At one point, you know, at the very beginning of the elections, or maybe like prior to that, when Bobiwine came out, Museveni was basically calling the youth abazukulu, meaning my grandchildren, you know, and he was saying it so nicely and so calmly. You almost would actually believe him, you know. And then all of a sudden, the youth basically refused to listen. They completely ignored him, and as a result, he comes out and now he has a different message for the youth. And the message he had was, we will crush you. You understand? So these are two completely different people. The person that was calling them, you know, my grandchildren, and the person that's coming in and saying, we are going to crush you. Those are two complete, there's an evil man, just to say the least, you know. But it just really puzzles me that clearly we know what's going on. Ugandans are now very well aware of what's happening. There's an interview that we watched very recently where the woman that was talking to him, he's trying to deceive her, and she's telling him point blank, you are killing your people. Why does Bobiwine have to wear a bulletproof vest? Why are you allowed to campaign and he's not allowed to campaign? So the world clearly sees what's taking place and what's going on. But it just puzzles me that he actually believes that he can stay president just by changing the votes. It's not going to work this time. These young people that have been fighting against him, they're not ready to stop, and they're not going to stop until he's out of power. And that's something that he really needs to understand. And not only that, people within his close circle, within the government itself, they're also very disunited. And at this particular moment, they realize they're exposed, and some of them are going to have to, change their hearts and minds and do the right thing. And then obviously we also have to consider the fact that we do have members of parliament from NUP and opposition, whether it's Mugisha Muntu, Kizza Besigye, Norbert Mao, that also won posts. And unfortunately, those are also going to be our allies as we head into the new Uganda and as we continue to fight against dictatorship and make sure that this election is overturned to be in the favor of opposition and Chagulanyi Sentamu. But I want to talk a little bit about your conversation with Spartan. I was listening in. What are your thoughts on what he was saying?
Yeah, so my thoughts are that it is just crazy that if you are having a very unethical job as an agent of democratic elections, and in normal countries, democratic elections are parties. The election is the party of democracy,
yes,
where basically everybody unites and votes, and then in the end there is a winner, and then everybody accepts those votes.
Yes,
and that's how it should be. And it is sad that not only the government is rigging the elections, but that these people have to run for their lives. That is, I just can't get it. That is still possible in 2021.
I myself don't understand it, but I believe that Museveni is actually just not realizing that this is a completely new generation that he's dealing with. And clearly we have so many presidents right in East Africa that, so many different countries in Africa in general, where we had dictators, and that has been overturned. New presidents are coming in to bring about peace and democracy, for Africa as a whole. And in Uganda, it's going to happen because the youth are very much so resolved to have change in the country. And so this, again, everything that he's doing is a clear indication that the pressure from opposition is definitely too much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I believe Eric is here with us. I'm curious to find out his thoughts, and then we can proceed to the next agenda. Timo, can you check with Eric for us, please?
Yeah, I don't see Eric here yet. Were you expecting Eric to join, Patricia?
Yes, I was okay, perfect. So he's not here right now. We are going to take unless Nico, you have something to say. Anything else that you want to tell us about the results, or this is all the information you have for us?
Yeah. So one last thing. Let's also continue our struggle on social media.
Yes.
We have already explained here in the diaspora. This is a voting telecenter that the government can't run down. Social media, yes, it's now at low speed because the internet is off. But the good thing is I still see those tweets and Facebook posts coming in. So time is on our side, people. Just wait. They have to put on the internet again. And the young people that have voted for Chagulanyi, they control Facebook, they control Twitter and the other social media. So hashtag we are removing a dictator.
Yes, and then of course, don't go to Bobiwine's page and share that post. This is Bobiwine asking you for your help. He's telling you that, hey, this is what's taking place at my house. His house is practically under siege right now as we speak. There's absolutely no reason as to why policemen without uniforms should be climbing over his home like thieves. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is happening in Uganda with Museveni, he understands everything that's going on, and he's actually the person behind it. And so diaspora, this is our chance. Ugandans are not able to activate. In fact, they're doing everything on the ground to make sure that they expose the regime. They just don't have internet at the moment. So now it's up to you and I to ensure that the voice reaches everyone worldwide. But thank you very much for joining us today. And we will come back later and update you on what's taking place on the ground. Thank you.
You are watching the Vote Monitoring program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. You Vote Counting Stream, streaming for you live.
Now, to everyone who is watching this, I had to jump in and I give you these latest updates. The house or the home of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, that is the gentleman himself, Bobiwine, is under siege. He just tweeted this just 21 minutes ago. We are under siege. The military has just jumped over the fence and has now taken control over our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. We are under siege. Those are the words coming from the official Twitter handle of our president, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. That is the current update. That is the current update coming all the way from Magere. That is the current update coming all the way from Magere. That is the current update coming all the way from Magere. Yesterday, of course, news started circulating here and there that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert was under attack, and guess what? It was not the case, because elections had just started, and of course they wanted to create a situation. But this time around, this is serious, because he has come out to say something about it. Guys, the military just jumped over the fence of our president's house. They have taken control. They have taken control, and just like you see from this latest tweet, none of these military intruders is talking to the president and the entire family members. Kyagulanyi is saying we are in serious trouble. We are under siege. Just to refresh your mind, a while ago, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert freed his family, that is his children, that is the four of them. He had to free them because he had information, he received information that Museveni was willing and was planning to kidnap his children and of course put him into subjugation and all that kind of thing. But he managed to get the news and the information, the intel early enough, and he had to take his children out of Uganda. Of course, they wanted to use his children to, of course, force him to surrender. Now they have taken over the house. They have taken over the president as we speak now, because this is the latest news 21 minutes ago. Let me see if there is any other developing story, but that is the latest from Magere. That is the latest from Magere. He just said we are under siege. The military just jumped over the fence and now has taken control over our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us who are in serious trouble. That is the current situation. That is the current situation. Let me see this. Of course, the counting is still ongoing, and let us not lose focus however much they have taken over the house of our president. But we should also try to multitask here, because we needed to handle this situation as well as handle the other situation of vote counting, however much it has been rigged, But yes, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. No one is going to tamper with the will of Ugandans. This is just the beginning. Let me look out for anything new. Let me look out for anything new. Let me look out for anything new. And I see whether I can get it from here. That is the situation. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert needs help. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert needs help. Let me cast this on Facebook. Give me a minute, give me a second. Let me cast this on Facebook, because all we need to know, as we speak now, the internet is still down. No internet connectivity up to now. No internet connectivity up to now. No social media, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, and all that kind of thing. So, let me see. Come on. The world needs to know what is currently happening as we speak now. Come on. Let me see this. Yeah. Just a minute, hold on. Just a minute. I have to connect to Facebook right now, and as well as inform each and everyone what is currently going on. I'm going to... Okay, I'm about to finish to connect to Facebook as well. Okay, I think I'm done. Okay, am I done? Perfect. That is the current situation. That is the current situation. For those that have just joined us, yes, I've managed to connect to Facebook as well. The president of the National Platform is under siege. This is the latest from his official Twitter handle. He just said, we are under siege. The military has jumped over the fence and has now taken control of our home. And later on he said, none of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in a serious trouble. We are under siege. Of course, you have witnessed this during the campaign trail when Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert was being stopped. These guys put on, they don't show their faces, the black mambas and all that kind of thing. All they do is to be well, armed with all tools of violence and explosives. They just stand and stare at you. And then when that perfect time reaches, when they want to do their dirty games, that's when they are going to show their true colors. So as we speak now, the president is under siege. This is the latest tweet. For those who can access the president's Twitter handle, this is the latest tweet from the president, that we are under siege, and then the military has jumped over the fence and has now taken control of our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. We are under siege. Remember, Kyagulanyi early in the morning addressed the nation. And then later on, he came out, of course, to promise us that he's going to come back and address us again on the way forward. But this is what is currently happening. Actually, before the first interview, this is what happened. Let me show you this as well. I don't know whether I'm gonna get it so fast, but yes. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, these people were outside the house because come on. Let me share for you this as well. me share for you this as well. Where is it? Okay, perfect. Here it is. So this is where I was there outside because NTV posted and said, Justin National Unity Platform presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi, aka Bobiwine's home, has been surrounded by the military ahead of his press briefing that is due in a few minutes from now. Now, this was 6 hours ago, and you saw he had a successful press briefing when he, of course, highlighted what is going on, what happened yesterday in the night, during the day, and the current situation as it is, and what is going to happen later on. And of course, he said he's going to get back to tell us on the way forward. But here we are. He just tweeted and said, we are under siege. The military has jumped over the fence and has now taken control over our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. We are under siege. Remember, internet is still down. No one has access to the World Wide Web. No one has access to the global village. No one has access to Twitter, to Instagram, to Facebook, and all those other social media platforms. So, in brief, whatever you see here, no one in Uganda, no one, unless those that can penetrate through. But not everyone can do so. The reason as to why they turned off the internet, of course, was to rig the votes. But hey, that is not going to happen in this generation. We are not that kind of a type. We are 80% below the age of 40. And we made a statement yesterday. Not only in one region, but in all regions. Ugandans witnessed the games Museveni played. With the help of the army, the police, the military, the LDU, and all those other security units of his, the SFC, them, the DISO, the MISO, and even the RDCs, they did their dirty games, arresting our agents, shooting them dead, like an incident that happened in Tororo, and very many incidents that you did not get to know about until when network or internet restores, and you are going to be shocked because a lot. I've been receiving calls and people saying, hey JB, do you have any way I can get to you this? I have this here with me. And I'm like, you know what? First stay with it until when internet restores, and we are going to expose them. We are going to we're going to show the world what really happened. So this is what now they have resorted to, surrounding and taking control over Kyagulanyi's home. They are now inside. They are now inside because he just tweeted, none of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. Kyagulanyi, I'm very sure you've never seen him say this kind of a thing. However much there are always diversions here and there, provocations and intimidations. He's not that type of a person who will come out to tweet something like this. And once you see it from his official Twitter account, just know that there is something wrong. There is something wrong because these guys just jumped over the fence. Just jumped over the fence. They are inside, his house. Just a while ago, he just addressed. This is the conference. Yeah, he just talked to the press. He talked to the press. And as we speak now, his house is under siege. So we don't know actually, as we speak now, because this is like now half an hour ago, we don't know what is happening right now. That's when we need to act as soon as we can and do the necessary, as in trying to figure out what is currently happening at our president, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. That is the update from Magere. That is the update from Magere. All I can say, our president is not safe. Actually, I'm one of the, I don't know, very many of you who refused to agree to those news that we are saturating yesterday on social media that he was under attack. Because I knew that was not right. But this time around, this is real. because at least you can see a tweet from the president. None of these guys is talking to them. Just like it has always been the norm. You remember when Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert was stopped from proceeding to, when he was coming from Kole, when he was in northern Uganda and Lila, when he was blocked to for over 8 hours, and then later on at around midnight, his car was towed to which other district? Was it Chitugum? Yeah, it was Chitugum. And the distance or the journey took over 2 hours. I remember that night. Those guys stopped him and they were not communicating to him. They were not saying a word. And then later on in the night, they started beating up everyone, beating up journalists. Remember that incident when one of a journalist for Busoga 1 FM was badly injured that night when they arrested most of our comrades. Some were badly beaten. You know, it is likely to be the same kind of a situation or even worse. Who knows? Because the internet is down. No one has access to the World Wide Web. No one has access to the internet. It's only those few, 1 or 2, 3 that can penetrate through. Those that can go to the sides of Mutukula, because in Mutukula you are near Tanzania and you can use the network from Tanzania and you can access. Those that are on Busia, in Busia, they can go to the side of Kenya and they can do that. Those that are the side of DRC, those that are side of Sudan, so people surrounding or on the borders of Uganda, those are the only ones that can access the internet because they can use the network of the other countries. But in Uganda, it is hard. That's why I'm saying we don't know what is currently happening. Let me see whether the president has made another update. All I can say, let us keep focused. Let us be vigilant. This is the time, just like the president said in the morning, this is just the beginning. Remember, people made a very big statement yesterday. People came out to vote. For those of you who were here live listening to the calls I was making to different comrades in different regions in Bukoma, Simbi, Muwonge, Masaka, Chibuku, Parisa, Gulu, Arua, Mbale, those who were listening to those calls, you heard what people were saying. People came out in big numbers and they made a statement. Actually, the people who were most of the times voting, each one of them was like, but where were these guys voting from the previous elections? This time around, it was a different case. That's why they had to switch off the internet. They had to arrest our agents. They had to bring in predicted ballots in favor of Museveni. They had to arrest and, confiscate the DR forms. But hey, those people who made a big statement yesterday, they are not Japanese, they are not Chinese, they are not Sudanese, they are Ugandans. We are Ugandans, and yes, you mess up with the vote, then those Ugandans are going to ask you questions whose answers you might answer. So these guys are playing with the will of Ugandans. Now they are taking over Kyagulanyi's house. As we speak now, he just said we are under siege. The military has jumped over the fence and has now taken control over our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. That is the president of the National Unity Platform, the strategist of the People Power Movement, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, aka Bobiwine. He's saying we are under siege. So, to whoever is listening to this, kindly find a way of figuring out what is going on or what you need to know. Kyagulanyi is under attack. And then the other thing, just like I said, we have to multitask. We have to keep following the votes. The count is still on, and as well as keep our eyes on the president as well. A lot is going on. A lot. Remember, most of our comrades are still in detention. Those that were arrested yesterday, agents, some we don't know where they are. Those that were belonging to NUP, the army could come and like, Where is the NUP agent here? That I'm the one. Boom, they whisk you away. They take you away. So up to now, some comrades are still in detention. Some, we don't know how they are doing. Leaving alone the other 49 who were framed that they were found with a gun. The likes of Eddie Mutwe, Nubian Lee, Bobiwine, Chuma Chayesu, Mbogo, you know, Map Media. Actually, just a few days ago, we received updates that Map Media was in a very critical condition. Remember, he was badly beaten last time. By the time he showed up in High Court Massacre, he couldn't even move properly. Just a few days ago, we heard he was on oxygen. That is the situation. This is Uganda's election. And then the dictator wants to rig elections. We are saying no. We are saying no. And this time around, we mean it. No. A big no in capital letters. This is not a generation you are going to, you know, to rig its votes. The will of Ugandans has to be respected. The will of Ugandans has to be respected, whether you like it or not. The will of Ugandans has to be respected, whether you like it or not. That's the fact, because it is Ugandans that made this big statement, taking over Kyagulanyi's house, arresting Kyagulanyi, taking him under siege, doing all that kind of intimidation and frustrations and all that kind of stuff. Is not going to save Museveni. So that's the situation. Let me see any other update if I can get one. That is the situation. That is the situation. Yeah, so far those are the last two. I can share you his, let me share you the entire, let me share you these guys actually. Let me share you this. Let me share you this as well. Come on, okay. Yeah, this is his Twitter handle, the president of the National Unity Platform, Bobiwine. There he is. This is the official one with the blue tick, with 1 million followers. None of this. This is now 43 minutes ago. That is the situation. 17 hours ago, he made a statement and said, "Hello, Uganda. Despite the widespread fraud and violence experienced across the country area today, the picture still looks good. Thank you, Uganda, for turning up and voting in record numbers. The challenge now is for Mr. Byabakama and the Electoral Commission to declare the will of the people." And yes, actually, the challenge is now for Mr. Byabakama. You've seen him stammer with some results. He even doesn't know what he's feeding Ugandans. He has to first consult. Is this correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? You know, you hear them exchanging glances when they are giving out these fake results. The time is now. Remember, just like the president said in the morning, this is just the beginning. The will of the people has to be respected. So, 43 minutes ago, we are under siege. The military has just jumped over the fence and now has taken control over our home. None of these military intruders is talking to us. We are in serious trouble. So that is the situation. Yeah, this is what people are saying. I'm just speechless while the dictator are so scared of us. They do not want you to address the media about any further proceedings and the rigging ongoing. Yeah, Nigerians are with you in prayers, and we support you wholeheartedly to oust the dictator. So that's what people are saying. Basically, that is it. Don't focus on people who come out to say negative things about what's going on. Those are Museveni apologists, because they feel nice when people are oppressed. For them, for them it is okay, you know, to see people being oppressed, being murdered, being killed, being kidnapped, and all that kind of thing. Don't bother with those NRM apologists and propagandists. They will not tell you what you want to hear, or they will not say the truth. Don't even waste your time explaining to them, because their minds, you know, they were deprived of their understanding. They don't own their mindset. They don't own their consciousness. They do not own nothing. Museveni has it in his pocket. They act like robots. Those are Museveni apologists. Never waste your time with them. They are okay with the current status quo of kidnapping, killing, murdering, you know, and all sorts of the chaos you witness on a daily basis. So that is the president. He's under siege. And yeah, we shall of course get to know very quickly. This is when they were arresting our diaspora coordinator, that is Herman Aineviona. We also do not know where he is. A lot is happening, a lot is still yet to happen, but all I can say, let us stay, you know, focused. The time is now. That's the update I had for you guys. Let me hope. Question is, why would they do this? First of all, this, of course, has been ongoing from day one. Remember the Tojikwata saga? Do you remember when Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert wanted to consult and he was, you know, blocked to consult because the Constitution of Uganda gives you the money to consult from Ugandans whether you're fit to lead them, as in get their opinion, what they would want you to do for them once, and all that kind of thing. That did not happen. You've witnessed the chaos and the brutality during the campaign trail. I don't know even how Byabakama is going to come out and justify this ongoing kind of situation from the time the campaign started up to now. We are removing a dictator is the hashtag for each and every one watching this. Is the hashtag. I know 99.9% of you are outside Uganda watching this. And yes, this is specifically meant to inform you what's going on, because Uganda is deciding and the will of people bari mugizanyiramu. Yeah, all you need to know, Bobiwine was actually setting up to again address us. You had him in the morning when he said, in a few hours, I'm still going to come and address you on what is going on and the way forward. All I can say to you, the fight is on. The fight is on. Despot Museveni must go by all means. We are tired of him. Of course, they switched off social media, they switched off the internet, and he knows that we don't like him, we don't love him. No one, actually, no one would vote for him. He doesn't even have, he can't even get, maybe if he gets 20%, I don't know. Museveni? First of all, he rigged the elections of 2011. He rigged the elections of 2016. He rigged the election. Now he wants even to rig these ones? No way. No way. This is a different generation. No way. We are removing a dictator is the hashtag. This time round, the will of the people has to be respected. Ugandan has made a big statement. Why would you switch off internet, social media? Why? Why would you arrest the agents of your opponent? Why would you shoot them with the live bullets? Why would you deny Kyagulanyi to campaign in areas where you've actually campaigned, as in? Why don't you, if you claim you have support, why don't you do each and everything the way it is supposed to be done, following the law? Just know Despot Museveni is now panicking. That's why, like I told you last time, he knows that we hate him. His ideologies no longer resonate with our minds, as in, he's no longer credible. And he knows. That's why he has to use the army, the military, the police. He knows the power of the people is much stronger than the power of the people in power. So, those are the tactics he's left with. But I just know this is just a beginning, because we haven't heard from their fake results. I call them fake results because you can't compute results. You, the electoral commission of a country, and then you compute results, and then the total percentage is 130. And how are you going to convince me to believe in that kind of forgery? A commission that has not only one person, two, but a team of educated men and women, and then you come up with the results, totaling up to 131%. And then you are going to fool us? Man, we are the .com youth. We can easily read beyond actions and words. We critically analyze, and yes, we are watching. And not only us, but the world is watching. Yes, the world is watching. However much the internet was switched off, we find ways of communicating to the rest of the world. So basically, that's the update I wanted to give you. If there is any other developing story, I'll come back and give it to you as well. as well. Yeah, for now, let me first get off. For now, let me first get off.